What we're finding is we have this extraordinary strength amongst young people reading, and they are reading really good books. So they're reading the classics, they're also reading the book of the moment.
Yes.
A fantasy book, a romantasy book, a whatever, but they are not abandoning these books either. They are reading Middlemarch, they're reading the great classics.
We all thought Barnes & Noble was done. You were out, or it was out for the count. It was never going to compete with Amazon, blah, blah, blah. Turn off the lights.
Well, the reason it had got there, I think it had lost sight of the fact that it needed to run really compelling bookstores, and had drifted away from that core principle, had started selling too many things that weren't books, had tried to cut costs as it got into a certain amount of difficulty, and that created a vicious cycle of ever less attractive stores, ever less compelling stores, and declining sales. We were able to relatively quickly just simply reverse that process, concentrate on books, create better bookstores, invest in our people, allow them the freedom to curate their stores, and our sales went up.
So what are they doing, these local stores, that you're finding fascinating about how they're doing it? What are they doing? A book is a book is a book on the shelf.
A book is a book is a book, and it's the same book whether you buy it from Amazon or whether you buy it in a bookstore, whether you buy it from Barnes & Noble or from an independent bookstore. But it's the alchemy that you put around within the store, how you juxtaposition the friendliness of the space, the welcome that you get, but also how we choose and what we choose to sell, how we curate a table, how we put a display, where we put a recommend. And that is very, very local.
This is the example of what we're talking about now, aren't we? You've got here best-selling on the Upper West Side. We recommend staff picks, new and noteworthy. So this is really where your philosophy comes into practice. Explain.
This is where the bookstore team here is deciding what they put. You will have a massive bestseller, national bestseller, of course, but you'll also have the books that they particularly like and some very idiosyncratic picks. We are in a particular community here. They are deciding what books they want to sell to them. And these are not tables that you will find in every store. They're different. Some books are, this is everywhere. We're selling lots and lots. But generally speaking, it's properly themed, properly curated. They got a lot of kids who use this store, as we can see, running around, and so they've got quite a lot of kids' books. But this is all around the skill and the intellectual engagement that they can provoke through how they curate here.
I can read a book review in the newspaper or online, and I want to read the book tomorrow, and Amazon is already in my phone and will deliver it to me tomorrow.
And Amazon is wonderful.
And you have
respect.
to compete with that.
Well, we have to compete with that a bit, but also if you want to come and look at the book, if you want to see what else there is, you will be much better off doing that in a bookstore. And in fact, I think Amazon has taken away quite a lot of the need for us to have the books that people are always asking for, which maybe don't enhance other books. Manuals, technical books, all of those myriad of reference books and the like. And generally speaking, we don't carry those anymore. People know what they want and they buy it. What we can do is have all the books that you're not quite sure you want, or when you simply want to come in and have the serendipity of discovering and embracing books, and also doing it with people. So both doing it with our booksellers but also doing it with other customers. It's a very, very social space, this.
In the food chain, Amazon kills off you and you become successful. You kill off the independent bookstore because you're bigger and you can do better deals. That's the sort of...
I think that's a facile narrative which has actually proved to be wrong, that Amazon hasn't killed off the good bookstore at all, and bookstores are now thriving, both independents and chain booksellers. We're going to open 60 stores this year. We're really doing well. And Amazon's doing well, and other people sell books. Costco sells books, Target sells books, and so on. Books are being read in a wider and wider sense, and we play an important part of that. And as I also say, public libraries also play a hugely important part. If we're here at 4 p.m, it will be a wash of kids coming in after school. It's in the evenings, it's those sort of 20-something-year-olds, because we're a wonderful place to meet, see people, not as threatening or as noisy as a bar, but a lovely place to enjoy. So from the start of the day to the end of the day, you get the flow of the community coming through it. And because we're so amazing at that, frankly, and like no other retailer, we actually ply a decent trade.
Thank you very much.